This morning I woke up to excited little girl that was wanting to feed a calf at 7 a.m. Pretty cool to see that she's excited for little calf Noelle's new life. And yesterday, if you go and watch the video, I changed the thumbnail to a picture of Michaela when she was a baby. She's always been a goofball since she was a baby, and she put her face up against that magnifying glass. But I thought it was very fitting for new life, because new life, yeah, there's lots of new life on the ranch here, but new life with human creation. What God has created is because He's made us in the image of God. So animals aren't comparable to humans, obviously, but we also have some new life coming, and I had to get Dakota up, our horse, and you'll be able to see her in the background here. I'm just making a circle, trying not to run over any rocks. I just moved them into new pasture. Dakota's gonna have a foal this year, and we're gonna have some more new life for the kids to halter break. I halter broke Dane when I was a kid, and I can remember Mom wouldn't be too happy because there was times when I was gonna bring him in the porch, but I had him to go anywhere. So he's the easiest to catch. He's a pet. He's the one who sticks his head in the truck all the time when you see on the other videos. But it's a windy day. We're heading up to take care of everything else on the ranch, so stay tuned. So I need to show you guys something down here that the Lord has put on my heart down in this valley below the house here. This shed over here, I had a really good friend help me build this shed, and I'm going to show you guys what's inside of it. So I'm heading over to the shed that Colin helped me build this shed. Before anything was out here at the ranch, we decided to build out here. I built this shed first, and I store the quad and a bunch of stuff in it. And Colin wanted to help, and he always looked forward to coming down here with me. And it wasn't, I think it was 2 years after that when he passed away, and he got Burkitt's lymphoma, cancer, and and it took his life. And I can remember with Colin sitting beside him in his bed. We lived in the city at the time. He lived across the street from me, and I can remember going over there and him smiling and saying, "This is so great." He says, "How often do we get to sit here and be like, when we move on, and talk to the ones that mean so much in our lives to us?" And it totally changed me, and I never looked at it. It broke me, but it changed me. And we look at it, and we really can't take life for granted. And I guess that this Colin has really put a staple on my heart. So I just wanted to show you this emblem that we got made up. Colin never got to see it, but he made a wristband, and for everybody, just to kind of show him the importance of God. And his favorite Bible verse was Psalm 23. We put that on the wristband, and it had it was in Batman font. Colin was a big Oilers fan. Go Oilers! And I'll show you the emblem here. I'm going to open the door. I'm going to flip the phone around. So, what was once a storage shed turned into our pump house. So down in the cribbing down on the bottom, this goes down about 20 feet, and the pump is in there. There's a spring that comes off the side of this. Well, it's down below. There's always been water here. So the water, this is the water for the ranch. And Colin helped me build the shed. It used to be a shed that we'd pull the quad into and keep a bunch of stuff. Now it turned into a hockey change room. You can see the benches we got built so that we can go down here when this freezes over and we can play some hockey. And we've had the college and career out here. Some guys from my life group, Jeff and Jared, and I can't remember just all the guys. I think Vaughn came down. We had some time, but here's this emblem that we had at Center Ice right here. And we got this made, and Speed Pro Signs made it for me. And we had this flooded at Center Ice on Colin's 30th birthday. But now there's been mice in here. You can see the mouse turds, but there's not much. I used to have steel wall, but when the kids were little, well, and the mice have been down in there too. When the kids were little, this bench used to sit like this, that they could put their skates on there, and there was like little seats there. And I insulated, and we had hot chocolate in here and everything that way. When we had Colin's birthday, we had a fire. I think we had fire on ice at that time. We had so you could put your skates on around the fire, and we went tobogganing down these steep hills. And it was just I can remember Missy, Colin's wife, saying that this was just such a magical day, and it was. But it was in the middle of winter. We had the snowblower going. It was a really lots of snow that winter, and the snow around was almost like boards. I'll see if I can find a picture of that. But just kind of wanted to show you guys that little bit of a staple that Colin left on our hearts. Well, John, I just went up there and fixed some fence, the last bit of fence, I think, for the two pastures. And this area, I like to call the hay flat, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? So, just heading back down to the truck here. I could have crossed the creek, but I didn't want to make a mess with the creek running, make a mess of the land. But my trail camera's down here. So John, if you recognize this area, this is even though we don't put up hay here, we call it the hay flat, because the big bucks are on the hay flat, right? Stay tuned. Kayla is talking to the coyotes. One forward and one backwards. One forward. So we want everybody who's watching this to press pause on the video and try it. And make sure you comment below if you
get it.
Yeah.
If you do, it's like a miracle.